What up, heavy mommies, and welcome to another video. This time we're going to be doing a tier list. This is the first one that I'm recording, but I plan on doing a few of these because I really like the idea of being able to kind of rank some shit. And in this case, ranking the Legend of Zelda series. So we'll see. I might piss some people off. I might make some people happy. I have not played all of these games. So I'm going to just warn you. I've played a lot of Zelda games, but I have not played all of them. The first one that we'll rank here is the original Legend of Zelda. Full disclosure, I've maybe played like 5 minutes of this game. So I'm going to put this game in the C tier because it started the series. So it obviously, it's cool. But, you know, the original game, it's old. So I don't think that it's a game that's aged super well. So we'll just give it a C tier because, hey, it did birth the series, so I'm grateful for it. But we'll see. I never played Adventure of Link, but I know that everybody hates it, so I'm going to give it D tier. I never played that game. It looks really hard, so yeah, you know. So the Minish Cap, dude, fucking great game. This is a great handheld game. It had a lot of really unique bosses. It had a cool story. I like the Picori, which apparently was supposed to be in Breath of the Wild, so who knows? Maybe we'll see it in the sequel. Man, as far as handhelds go, this is definitely one of the better ones. I'm debating between B and A tier. I think I might put it as a B tier. But I did really like that game. I played that game. So for A Link to the Past, man, I mean, I feel like I gotta put it at S tier, especially knowing that there's a double S tier. I think I'm gonna put it at S tier. I think it's an amazing game. I played it as a handheld, so that's like my version of it. Obviously, it wasn't just a handheld, but I can't help but feel like I don't want to put it in the SS tier because I know which games are gonna go there. And even though this is really good, I think it deserves S tier because of, you know, what it did for the era that it was in. And that is a game that I think has still aged pretty well. It's still very playable. But yes, we'll put that at S tier. Let's see. I never played Hyrule Warriors, man. I kind of want to play Age of Calamity. I've never played. So I've played a Warriors game before, but I have only played it like at a friend's house once when I was like 12. So I don't really remember those games, but you know, it's not a true Zelda game, but I think people really like it for what it is. So I'm going to put it as C tier, even though I've never played it. So don't kill me. I never played the Four Swords Adventures thing either. Not the Four Swords with the Link to the Past, but that one. So we're going to have to put that there. Now, I never played either the Oracle of Ages or Seasons, and I'm honestly holding out for them to remake those games because I know, I'm like, if you just remake this game, dude, I will play the shit out of it. I just don't think I want to play the originals. So with these, though, even though I have not played it, I know how well they're received, and I've seen reviews for them, and it seems cool. So even though I haven't played them, I'm going to go ahead and put them at B tier. Mainly because of their reputation and from people I trust, it seems like they're quality games that I just missed out on. Triforce Heroes, yeah, I never played it. I have a 3DS, but I never played it. I'm gonna go ahead and put this game at D tier. Sorry, never played it, don't have any attachment to it. I never played the Super Nintendo version of Link to the Past, but we'll put it the same thing there. This is Link's Awakening. Okay, so I really like Link's Awakening. I never played the original game, but I have played and I do own the new one. So I gotta say, I'm gonna put that one at a B tier. I think it's a really solid game. I really like it. Man, I feel like some should be going in the A tier, but we'll see. So, A Link Between Worlds, dude. This game is amazing. I love this game, especially because I played A Link to the Past. You know, having that context and playing A Link Between Worlds. I mean, A Link Between Worlds, I'm sorry, it's a better game than A Link to the Past. Oh, man, I don't know if I want to put it at SS tier, but maybe I do. Nah, maybe I do. So, I'm gonna put it at SS tier, and the reason why is I'm going to qualify it as it's a handheld top-down Zelda, And of the handheld top-down Zelda, I think it deserves SS tier. I think 3D Zeldas are a different genre, but as far as I go top-down, I gotta give it to A Link Between Worlds, because that was one of my favorite games I ever played on the 3DS. I never played Spirit Tracks. I'm gonna give that a C tier, bro. I never played it, so I can't really speak on it. And I never played Phantom Hourglass either, so we're gonna put that at C tier as well. Honestly, the style doesn't look good to me. Like using the stylus, I don't really like that. I did not play Wind Waker on the GameCube. I, like many other people, saw the art style and just wasn't into wanting to play it. I don't know. I just, at the time, I had played Ocarina of Time, and I played Majora's Mask. I have the gold cartridge with the holographic thing for the Majora's Mask. And I even got like a VHS and everything with it. I don't know, like, if I ordered that through Best Buy, or I forgot how I owned it, but I know that it came with like promotional material and shit. And so when I saw Wind Waker, I just was like, I don't know how I feel about that art style. And I went and played. I got the Wind Waker Wii U like remaster, and I got like the console. Like I have the Wii U console where it's got like the little gold insignia on the tablet. And man, that game is amazing, dude. I really like Wind Waker a lot. I think Wind Waker is an awesome Zelda game. It has some flaws that I think they mostly like did a good job. I didn't play the original flaws, so with some of the things that they did, the quality of life improvements, the fast sailing, and all that, I'm gonna go ahead and put this one at A tier. I think it is a really good game. I don't think it quite is like A Link to the Past level game, but I think it for sure deserves to be above some of these B tier games. Twilight Princess, I started it, and I never owned the game, but I started it playing on like an emulator or something. And man, the intro was too long, dude. I was just like, when can I get to doing some shit I want to do, I feel like they spend a little too much time in the introduction. I did not buy the Wii U HD port, and I'm kind of holding out that they're going to make one for the Switch, because I'd much rather own it for the Switch. So I will play it, assuming they remaster it, because, come on, man. You already remastered in 1080p. Like, just fucking throw it on the Switch. I'm going to give this one probably a B tier, because a lot of people really like it, and I know it has good qualities. And from what I've been told and from what I've seen from reviews, people really like the dungeons. And that's something that I love about Zelda, man. I love the dungeons. So I'm going to give it a B tier. It might change later when I actually play the game. But I'm going to base that off of reputation and what people like about it. Let's do Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword, man, this was a divisive game, wasn't it? A lot of people didn't like the motion controls. I didn't mind the motion controls, but sometimes it would be frustrating when it wouldn't do what I wanted it to do, when I knew what to counter the enemy with, and then like the movement wouldn't register properly. That's a fault of the hardware for sure. I actually really liked Skyward Sword as a game as a whole. One of the more interesting stories of like a Zelda game. I really liked the relationship with Zelda. I really liked the Loft Wings, even though I think they kind of wasted it because you fly in like an empty area. And I really liked some of the bosses, dude. Some of the bosses were really cool. Fuck the boss in the ship. That boss was stupid. But some of the other bosses were awesome. They were fun. I think that they should really change the fact that every single time you pick up an item, it like has to tell you what it is. That's something I hope they change in the HD version. There's certain things that I think that they could clean up. You do a lot of backtracking in that game, and I think to streamline that process a little bit or make things a little easier, especially the underwater sections are kind of frustrating. So I really liked the game. I loved the final boss. Demise is awesome. I thought that was a great game. All right, so the 3 legendary games, right? We got the one that started it all for me, which was Ocarina of Time. That was my first Legend of Zelda game. I gotta give it double S's. I do. It's Ocarina of Time. You got to think about what it did for its time. You got to think of it in the era that it was in, right? It's obviously not fair to compare that to a modern game. But given the era that it was in and what it innovated for a 3D space when all games were like 2D before, man, that thing transported me to all those places, the different temples. That game is magical. It really is magical. And there's a reason why it's so good. And there's a reason why certain aspects of it really like still hold up today and why others maybe don't. But I would love to see, I get it. They've remade that game already on the 3DS, and that's I actually got that. That's what got me to get a 3DS was that game. I went and bought it. I was part of the ambassador program. Immediately had Walmart give me the difference. I bought the game knowing that the price was going to drop, and then I went in because the price dropped within like a week or something, whatever Walmart's policy was, and they went and gave me the money, and I got to be an ambassador, so it was amazing. So the 3D version of it is the superior version. I'm sorry, it just is. Like, I can switch the iron boots and the water temple really easily. The item management in general is better. Having the 2 screens is really nice. But yeah, it's a classic. It's iconic. I love it. All right, so Majora's Mask. I liked Majora's Mask. I did not like it as much as Ocarina of Time, but I did like it. I think it's a good game. It has some flaws, but it has some really cool stuff. I really like the dark themes. I really like the fact that there's incentive to keep playing it because you're resetting the time cycle over and over and over again. I think it is a great game. I'll probably put it in A tier. I don't think it's an S tier game. In fact, I would say I like Skyward Sword more than it, but I don't think it's worthy of being on the B tier. So it's just one of those where these A's are not all equal per se. And then, of course, Breath of the Wild. Dude, Breath of the Wild is probably my favorite game of all time. So so this we're going to go ahead and just put in the double S tier. This shouldn't come as a surprise. But it is, it's my favorite game of all time. I think this sequel is going to be really good. It'd be really hard. Like, even if they released the sequel and it's like very similar to Breath of the Wild, like almost the same thing, then that would still be a good game if they gave you good dungeons and they gave you other things. I think they're going to do more than that. I really do think that they're going to take a lot of the feedback that they've gotten about the game since it's come out. Obviously, it was critically acclaimed. People love it. But there are gripes that people have, and including myself, with various aspects of the game and things that it's like, oh man, this is like almost there. But if they made these tweaks. So I'm really hopeful that they will do that they will make those tweaks. I want this game to be more story-driven. I want this game to have more traditional dungeons. But I still want to be able to explore anything. I still want to be able to climb anything. I actually don't mind the weapon durability system. There's got to be some ways to tweak it a little bit. So you had Metroid Prime. By the end of Metroid Prime, you powered up all your shit, right? In Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, you lose a lot of abilities in the very beginning. I don't like that. I think it feels cheap. I think it feels video gamey. A little too video gamey where it's a little too meta. Give me a reason to use other weapons so that I don't only use the Master Sword. So I don't mind if they do something that makes the Master Sword not quite as good. But the thing is like in some people's canon, maybe they did the Trial of the Sword. And so that thing's fully powered up and everything. It still runs out of energy, right? It still has its durability. But I think it would be kind of fucked up to completely nerf the Master Sword, but I also understand the necessity for it so that you use other items in the game. So I don't know. That's a tough problem that I am glad I'm not the developers for, but I would love to see what they do in the sequel. So yeah, this is my Zelda tier list. I'm sorry that I haven't played several of these games. I really enjoyed these games. I really love the series. I love the lore. I love the hero and the Triforce and of course, Zelda. I would love to see in this new game, maybe Zelda's a little more important. Maybe she's not so much a damsel in distress. We're in 2021, man. We're a little more progressive now. The woman doesn't always need to be in trouble. Like, how about she holds her own? And she's proven herself to be very strong in the original game. So we'll see. We'll see how this all goes. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and follow me on all the social media stuff. Anything you want to see, I post. I post stuff about my personal life or pictures and stuff on my Instagram. It's not related to the channel, but I do have the channel's Instagram as well, where I'll post clips and stuff. And then, of course, all my videos are here on YouTube. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate you all. Peace out, heavy mommies.